set and match. Shut the gate. They're going to do it again. The Kanaka Million goes with and stays with.
Kia ora, good evening everybody. You're here with Boys Get Paid, coming at you live from the Export Garden studio for another season of racing. We've already made a mistake. It's the Export Beer Garden studio. We are ready to roll. We're really excited about the season coming ahead, and it is good to have you all here with us as always. Dan, Luke and Matt for another whole season. It feels like it's been a while, lads, but it's bloody good to see you here. Luke, how are you, mate?
Yeah, really well, mate, as always. Looking forward to seeing some of these good horses back on the track. I do feel a little bit rusty. I feel like we're due a trial, so We'll treat today exactly like that, and I'm sure we'll be back for some of those Group 1 races that aren't too far away. But
That's
stoked
right.
to be here.
Dan, you haven't even had a break, mate. You've been watching horse videos all winter, mate.
I love horse racing, but I am still treating this just like a breeze up. I'm just... I'm going to go to the 200 and maybe just let the reins go a little bit and see how we go.
Yeah, nice. I have just realised we've got a different background tonight, lads. Have you seen that last season?
Is it?
I think it's just a bit higher than it normally is. I think
it?
you can normally see the people sitting out there at the Akatillo beach.
Okay, right. Well, there you go. It's a fantastic view. It really is. Look, it's great to have everybody here with us as always. Tonight we're going to be going through the FoxBridge Plate. We've got plenty to let you know about this season as well. We've got some new additions to the Blessed Bet, and we've got some new additions to the Best of BGP as well. We can't wait to let you know who from the BGP community is going to be sending you some best bets this season. We're going to find plenty of winners. Stay with us. We'll come to that at the end. But obviously, hope everyone out there is doing well. No doubt you've been fired up for this time of the season because it's been bloody hard over the winter with these heavy tracks and whatnot. But it is really starting to happen. So we want to get you getting your comments in. We're going to have a chat at some point about who's going to win a Group 1 this season. Dan's got about 15. I think, Luke, you might have scratched one or two together.
I reckon we can find one.
We can find one. I think we've got one. So you guys... Oh, yeah, surely. Surely. You guys let us know in the comments who you think is going to win a Group 1 this season, and we will get to your comments at some point soon. But before we get started, Luke, I think one of the most important things that's happened this winter is that there's been a TAB ad circulating on TVNZ reasonably frequently, and I'm not sure if people have seen, mate, but you're on it.
Yeah. I hear that there was a few different variations of it. I was there for filming for about fucking 6 hours, it felt like. Keep getting pushed to the back because Johnson and the boys turned up, and then the Blues boys, and it was, the BGP battler, mate, you sit back down and we'll get to you when we can. So I was sitting on a park bench and they dropped that. Then I'm reading the race form into Hunchland, looking around and having a look at Opie going past on a horse. There's a lot going on a bloody ad set, I tell you what. Anyway, they debuted it, and I'm just in the background sitting on this park bench, and then this bus just hits me. So I'm not really sure. I think I might have pissed someone off on the set. And, yeah, it really wasn't what I expected. But you won't really see me unless you are looking out for me. So watch for the bus. It just collects this guy sitting on a park bench, and that person on that park bench is myself.
You seen it, Dan?
No, I haven't. I've only seen I think it's Whitehack, is it? Singing. Singing, I'm going to win the what's this weekend? The FoxBridge.
Is it?
It's Whitehack.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, Whitehack is in there.
Yeah.
The ad's coming up left, right and centre. I watch the news these days, and it's always on before that, halfway through that, and after that. So they've done well. They've got prime time.
You've never spotted me.
Mate, I know. I'm gutted.
And you probably can't remember from the debut of the video or the ad from when they had the launch night too, because you came in pretty hot.
I remember a little bit. Yeah. I was really excited that Luke was in this ad, and then, they announced that Luke Kimmy's in this ad. I'm fucking, Luke. No one else in the crowd was making any noise.
No, everyone was like, oh, what the fuck?
Who's this guy? Where's he come from?
Well, you tell us what you really think, mate.
Yeah, no, look, I was excited, and now I still haven't seen him on the ad. But good on you, mate. That's good stuff. You're in the ad.
TV star. Yep.
Oh, it's absolutely outstanding. Right, the racing season has started this year. Properly. Yesterday felt like the season had really kicked off out of Topo. And Dan, it sounds like, mate, you were sitting on the couch doing some content and looking at the races. Was there anything that came out of Topo yesterday that excited you?
Alabama Lass was pretty impressive. I thought that was a really good win, but I think it was expected sort of over the shorter trip. I thought the race mapped well for it, but gee whiz, when it got to like the 150, it really just sort of like it was a little bit wobbly, but it kicked away and then just really let down really impressively. So that looked really good. I think Velocious, I'm not quite sure what happened there. Like in the barriers, it sort of got a little bit upset and banged its banged its nose and got pulled out and got vet checked and then got cleared to run and went back in. And yeah, maybe just coming around the corner, it sort of seemed to, I don't know, almost just sort of just float a little bit, and then, yeah, didn't really go on with it. But, you know, it didn't lose a huge amount of ground, but just didn't really let down. So not really sure there. I don't know, sometimes these 2-year-olds, when they have big 2-year-old seasons, they come first up and they don't quite perform, and it takes them a few runs to get back into it. So we'll see how that goes. I thought was it Savagely?
Yep.
That was quite impressive, and I thought that run away from Super Photon quite impressively. Super Photon sort of maybe didn't enjoy the track so much. I think a bigger track is going to suit that really nicely, and it seemed to sort of really find the line in the last 50 meters. It seemed to stretch out and go on quite nicely, so maybe look out for the future for that one. I think they were having a little bit of a chat about that one maybe going over for the Caulfield Guineas.
Wow.
I don't know how they feel after that race, but it looks like a horse that might suit a big track like Caulfield, that's for sure.
Topo is known to be a little bit of a tight turning track, and that straight can get away on you pretty quickly as a punter and a jockey, you know. But yeah, there's a big wrap around that Super Photon. I don't think the bookies have missed it. It's pretty tight in all the futures markets, whether that be Hawke's Bay Guineas, 2,000 Guineas. McNabb said on the radio last Saturday when I was on there that that's his horse that he would like to be on and to follow. So keep an eye out for that. It was a pretty good run. I multied that with Reptac and Velocious, so I got beat up.
No.
Yeah, but look, it happens. It happened 1 from 3.
It was a bit of a stable chat about one on the day that I think a few people got paid from was Trobriand.
Yeah, the Tangerine, Trobriand, good horse. We've spruiked that many times before. But yeah, into $4.40. I think it might have started a bit longer. Someone actually messaged me and said
4.8 it started.
4.8?
Yeah.
Oh, I got 4.4. Great. I got a message early in the week saying, in the old DMs, the requests, hang about, what have we got in here? Another bloke, yeah, awesome, basically saying, hey, mate, I've heard a bit of bully for Trobriand. You and the goat heard anything? I'm like, oh, no, man, haven't heard anything about that. And yeah, look, it's fair to say he messaged back after the race and he had 500 large on it. So, yeah, and he reckons go again on Skew Whiff. So he's reinvesting. So there you go. That's the mail from the requests in the DMs.
That's bloody interesting about Skew Whiff. I mean, it's nice that you got one out of that because there's so many messages that come through that this horse is going to win and this horse isn't going to win. And, when they actually do win, it's fantastic.
Oh, someone told me I'll say it, a cunt for not putting all the Punters Club on Bellatrix Star. I've heard it all. So oh, no, I meant top 4, mate. Oh, yeah, okay, mate. Okay.
Yeah. You're bringing up memories of our alley cat, aren't you?
There's
always
great
one.
horse.
There's always one.
Great horse. It's sold recently.
Yeah,
it's turned to buy it.
That'll win a Group 1 this season, won't it? Are we getting to that?
I think it might be retired. Might be breeding.
Right.
Might
okay.
have a little our alley kitten or our alley pussy going around at some stage.
Anyway, that's enough about horse racing. We have talked about horse racing. Although we're obviously here for the horse racing, we're obviously here for the community as well. Let's rip into what's going to happen this season. Hopefully everybody that's out here listening is really looking forward to what BGP has got coming up. There's plenty going on. As always, even though there's been a little bit of a break over winter, doesn't mean that people haven't been doing anything. Luke and Dan particularly have been working bloody hard on what's coming up this season. We've been in touch with the TAB. We've been in touch with Ted, Goat, everyone. We all know what's going on. So I suppose just to kick things off with the podcast, we're not going to be here every single week, but we're going to be here at least for the big weekends. But what will be happening every week is the best of BGP. And Luke, we've got some additions this season, mate. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, we certainly do. So I guess last week it just felt like the season started early and we went week to week, and by about May or April we're thinking, holy shit, we've done just about 9 months of podcasting week to week. So we're going to miss some of the weeks where the racing isn't as exciting, but we'll still record a best of BGP on those days. We're going to have a fresh new backdrop for that, but we won't reveal that yet. You can wait and see once that comes to air. But there's also a fair bit of chat in the harness community, and those boys have been tipping really well. So we said, well, why don't we do a little bit more in the harness space as well? So not only are we going to have the regular best of BGP with some of the people that you've come to get familiar with in the community, there's going to be an introduction of the best from the harness boys as well. And we believe that will be played out across the Friday night lights. which is not a new gig. It's the show on trackside on a Friday night covering Alexandra Park and Addington Raceway. So the Rackman is fired up for that because he loves tipping Merlin and Judgment Bay. And
Super Duper
Duper
Luca.
Yellow Bell,
Yeah.
Look at run second the other day.
And what else do we back on the Race by Grins evening? Copy that'll be going around.
Cyrus.
Yeah, no, we had Kango and
Kango.
Don't Stop Dreaming, both top 4. They got
That's
us.
it.
They got us out of jail.
Yeah. So yeah, fair bit more for the harness community as well.
Yeah, outstanding. And we will get to who's going to be sending out some of those tips too. But you're not going to be there for the first best of BGP, Luke. So Dan and I are going to be doing it. And Dan made a really good point. I'm going to have to make a tip for the harness, mate.
Oh, brilliant.
What do I do?
Yeah, no, you'll be right, mate. You'll be
I'm
right.
going to have to call up buddy Matt Cross and let me know what's going on.
That's the way.
Anyway, the events this season as well, as always, there's going to be plenty going on, plenty for people to get along to. And Dan, you've been right in the thick of things, making sure that we know what's going on, who's doing what, and where people need to get to, mate. So, yeah, let us know what's happening.
Yeah, well, we got a fair bit going on, but I think we sort of really narrowed it down this season for our key events that we want to target. I think there's probably going to be a few more things that pop up throughout the season and see if we can, do a few other things. But I think in the short term anyway, the big ones are the Everest. So Everest Ellerslie Race Day. So we're going to be on course at Ellerslie. Hopefully we're going to be up in that top room, P-Dub, if you're listening, mate. We haven't sorted that out yet, but maybe we'll see you next week and figure that out. But we're going to bring back the King of the Punt.
That's right.
Which is something that we done a few years ago. But basically we're going to be inviting everyone along into the room at Ellerslie. We haven't quite figured out the logistics for how much it's going to cost to enter or any of that stuff, but that's just admin. We'll worry about that in the future. But we're basically going to do a punting competition, and we're going to figure out who the best punter is in BGP. So there'll be tickets to come along to the event. We'll make the punting competition accessible for everyone. So it's it's not going to be fucking 10 grand to enter. We're going to make it accessible to everyone. We're going to get a huge amount of people along in the room and just have a blast and see if we can figure out who the best punter is in BGP. And it's an opportunity to take on the likes of the GOAT and Ted and Kemmys and Matt Davies. I think you'll be having a crack at a few, won't you?
Oh, mate, yeah, that's right. Look, we've done this before, haven't we, Luke?
Yeah, I think it
way
was
back in the day.
2019 might have been when we first had a crack at it, and the last time pre the pandemic as well. But basically, you start with a nominal amount. Everyone starts with the same amount on a betting voucher, and then it's your job to try and turn that into the most. And the person who wins gets obviously all the funds that they collect, but then there will be prizes as well throughout the day and for the winning punter. So the final race to have a bet on will be the Everest. So you've got to try and knock that bastard off and everybody else in the room as well.
Oh, when I win.
Oh, when I win.
We're going to talk about that tonight.
Hey,
are we?
when I
Mate.
win, yeah.
That was a fantastic day last year down at Sweatshop with the ACC and the TAB and everybody involved. So this year, doing it again. When I win the Intane TAB, I've got them there. It's going to be Even if you don't win the punting competition, it's going to be a bloody good thing to be involved with.
Absolutely. And then to back that up, we're going down to Cup Week.
Oh, baby.
We have a big one. So the Cup Week Punters Club is back by popular demand. I've heard it was one of the most successful punters clubs.
Dollars-wise, is that right?
It's a real doozy, that Punters Club.
Yeah,
It was a real doozy. And I think I remember they run the races on the Monday, and a few of the bets that got refunded seemed to fucking piss in as well, didn't they? So it could have got a lot worse from the team. I mean, it sounds like a conspiracy. It probably wasn't, but it sounds like it. I'm just throwing it out there.
Was it Al Vencedor at Tauranga or something like that?
Oh, mate, that's the one we did back, and it got smacked up on a wet track.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But Cup Week this year, so there's going to be a few things. So we're going to be down there doing content from the Tuesday onwards. And I think the plan is that we're going to have a bit of an early week fill-up where hopefully we're going to be throwing out a few tips and potentially some boosted runners on the Tuesday and the Wednesday for people to sink their teeth into. And then the Punters Club's going to start from Thursday. So we're going to do Ashburton Harness, the dogs, Friday Harness, and then into the Gallops on Saturday and see if we can have a fill-up for everyone with the Punters Club. Is that right?
Yes, and Friday morning we're going to go to the Cass and see if we can double it on roulette.
Oh, good. Yes. That sounds
Tim
great.
Mackey's coming in. He's going to do blackjack and we'll just send it.
Yeah, we haven't got that ticked off yet, but look, that'll be in the conditions, so make sure you read the T's and C's. But yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and looking to do an event on each of those. And I believe that the Friday harness is now a twilight, so
Oh, God.
we'll be able to get stuck into the dogs. The good thing is that we haven't even organised any of this with any of the clubs or locked in rooms or got tickets or anything. We're just going around saying it, so we better bloody pull it off. But yeah, the dogs are a great night out on the Thursday. We'll have Corborn Incognito doing a few tips down there. And basically clean up on the Thursday, and we would have already made some at the harness from how well the harness boys are tipping. We'll then wake up a little bit dusty Friday, get ourselves right, head along to the harness, clean them out there as well. Watch, what's that blue horse that always goes around?
Cyrus?
No, not Cyrus this time. It'll come to me.
Okay.
Anyway, and then get stuck into the big day of racing as well on the Saturday. Now, some people are like, oh, we'll do an event on the Saturday. Pretty hard to do an event on that day because the day sells out, and so there's not rooms. We've tried before, and you have a couple of car parks and stuff, and it's just a little bit tricky to work with. So yeah, we'll be putting something together for the community on the Thursday and the Friday for those people who are travelling from out of Christchurch or those people who are in the south. We'd love to see you there. And yeah, the Punters Club will be in full force. And the Punters Club will look a little bit different this year as well, because obviously Entain have now moved, the betting platform. So it won't be how it is. And as we get closer, I'll be able to explain more. But basically, at a very high level, you'll be able to enter the Punters Club via the TAB. And then when we put a bet on, you'll actually get a notification from the TAB that the Punters Club has had a bet as well. So it won't just be sort of on us to rush to go, right, tab over to our app. But that said, we are working on some advancements to the BGP app as well. And I'll come to some of those a little bit later as we go, because there's a bit there too.
Absolutely. As always, there's going to be a bit, even though these events aren't organised, who cares? We know that people are going to turn up and we'll all be there. And
pressure's on over the next 2 weeks for me to go and try and organise some of these events, I guess.
Good man.
Mate, you'll be on fire. Luke, have they signed you up for another Karaka Millions special yet? That obviously last year you were the face of the Karaka Millions. We're going to be there again this year. Are you going to be the face of it again?
Look, when you lose $500,000 2 years in a row, mate, it's I'm probably not really the pin-up guy.
Depends what way you look at it, mate.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, look, we haven't thought that far ahead, but that's going to be a big day of racing, as it always is, and we're looking forward to getting our ticket ready for that. And we've got some different ways to play that day. And the thing that we want to be encouraging people to be thinking about too is that there's a lot of excitement around racing this season and last season. I think we need to build on it. So a little while ago we had a campaign, Bring a Mate, #BringAMate, and it was about bringing someone new to the sport. And we're going to go the same thing this year. We'll change it up to Take a Mate. But we'd love to see people take a mate that's never been to the races before, or it could be getting along to a twilight, or even just a day out at Harwood or on a Thursday. Hell of a bloody day out that is. But just take somebody to the races, whether it's a mate who's been before or someone that's never been before, and just get them in the mix, because I think this is the time to try and introduce people to racing to see, because there's just more going on. There's more excitement. There's stake increases. Jockeys are happier. Trainers are happier. It's a recessionary time out there, and racing's been pretty well protected. So let's bloody ensure that we do our bit to get in behind it and throw a party and show some of our mates what actually happens behind some of the gates of these racing clubs.
I was going to say, at these events, if you're bringing a mate along, come and bring them up to us and introduce them and say, hey, this is my fucking mate Steve. I've just, this is the first race meeting that I've been to. We'd love to have a chat and say, fucking yeah, come on, try and get them involved and get them hooked on the racing game. I think, for us, that's really exciting to have someone come along. We want to make sure that they have a good time. So yeah, bring them along and tell us that you brought a mate.
Yeah, and get their address. We can sign them up for a new tab account, get that bonus bet, show them how to punt that.
Get us their IDs.
Yeah, it's all happening.
We were watching the UFC on Sunday. We were lucky enough to be invited to the Betcher Launch, which was at the Morningside Tavern. Fantastic afternoon. And you made a comment, Luke, because I'd never really watched UFC, and I was like, shit, this is really exciting. I love that. And you said something about Dana White having said, if I can just get somebody to come and watch UFC, they'll be hooked. I feel like it's the same with horse racing, eh? Yeah,
for sure. I actually had a mate of mine who came along, and he came to the Derby a number of years ago, and he was just like, wow, that was epic, and enjoyed the Karaka Millions as well. And he's moved back to the UK, and he messaged me the other day, and he was like, mate, I went to the races for the first time over here since I've been back, and he's like, I made sure I wore my BGP pin. And, so it is cool what racing can actually do for people. And it's not just about get there and keep punting, and that's not what we're talking about. We're like, no, just actually come and see the sport and see some of our, some of the best jockeys in the world competing against each other, and the camaraderie and the community and the people you can meet. And shit, there's Brendan Lindsay over there, and there's Rod Stewart over there, Brent Cooper.
Literally.
Yeah, they're just some great people in racing, and I think if we can just get people a little bit closer to it, they'll realise, oh shit, like I've been missing out a little bit here. This is a lot of fun, and then they might organise their stag do there, their corporate party there, etc. And it's a very accessible sport, and I think a lot of people just don't understand that.
I have the perfect example of that. So I had a meeting the other day with a friend, but like a professional colleague that I work with. He came along to the Warriors, and that's where I sort of caught up with him. I hadn't seen him in a while, and I was chatting to him the other day, and he goes, mate, well, when are you guys doing your next event? And I said, oh, mate, I've got all the dates here. And he goes, fuck, that's perfect. Like, there's 40 of us that want to come along from work. All the guys love it. They love a punt, love a bear. That'll be perfect. Like, we'll come along to, like, the Karaka Millions or one of the other ones. But just, like, that perfect thing where, like, they came along, they enjoyed it, and they're like, oh, shit, well, I'd do this for work. Like, we'll get the crew along.
Oh, mate, get his email address in the
Yeah.
database.
That's what it's all about, eh? Like at the Warriors, when people are standing around watching the horses, everyone's going, oh, what are we on? What are we betting on? What are we betting on? Everyone just wants to have a crack at it and have a good time together. And if it doesn't win, it doesn't win. But it's about that kind of, what I win. Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, it's a community piece, and people are looking forward to being a part of something. And yeah, we've all got to play our role in that. So let's get some people who've never been before to catch the bug as well.
Absolutely. And of course, we've got the Kiwi this season, which, this is quite far out. So we don't really have a lot to sort of know about there yet. But Luke mentioned it'll be a bit like a Karaka Millions type event again.
Yeah, massive day of racing to really sort of start to round out the season. By the time we get to March, I think a lot of people have sort of summed out, and they've done their gigs, and they've done their travel, and they've done Christmas and whatnot. And so it can be a hard time to get people back and get them right into party mode. But I think this is going to be a hell of a party in the 09 in Auckland here when you're racing with the Derby, the Derby, the Auckland Cup, the Kiwi as well. There's going to be plenty of cash to be won on the day.
$9 million.
And
a shoulder.
If you've partied in Vegas for 5 days and you've rolled straight into the Kiwi as well.
Yeah, you bloody
Gee
beauty.
whiz.
We'll be feeling chipper as.
It's going to be
I'll be
that.
putting American dollars into the punters club, or nothing at all.
I feel like I might have a fair bit of admin that week with you two rolling back in from Vegas.
You may do, mate. You may definitely do, eh? But as long as we're alive for that Saturday morning, you're going to have to make a few punts because there'll be a punters club.
Yep. We're going to do a punters club on that day. The racing's too good not to. So, yeah, I guess the key thing is get these dates in the calendar. We've sent out some dates. They were wrong, but that's right. We're a bit rusty, like I said. We'll correct those, won't we? We'll send them back out again tomorrow. But people sort of figured out, that's a Sunday, So, get these key dates into the calendar and make sure you're telling your neighbours to feed your cat if you're having to leave town or whatever, and your wife or your husband or whatever you're doing these days that you're not going to be home because she's going to be a late one.
Absolutely. It's very, very exciting as always. There is plenty to look forward to in terms of the events. Keep your comments coming in out there, everybody. We want to know who is going to win a Group 1 this season. We will have a chat about that soon, but just to quickly round out the other things which are happening this season, Luke, the app updates, mate, we haven't seen them yet?
No, so in progress at the moment, and basically we're trying to, it needs to be smoothed out anyway, so as part of that, we're trying to do some things that are going to give you a little bit more access to information. So one of those things, for example, is trying to embed the Facebook group tips into the app. So you'll be able to go in there and see, okay, Gasso's tip 1, for instance. We're going to have more of the best of BGP, the blessed bet, for example, and you're going to be able to go click, right, and then that will load you up into the TAB app. The same thing with Ted's. You'll look at his race form and go, okay, well, I actually like the horse that he's tipped here. You'll click on that, and that will load up into your bet slip. Even ways to put a multi together. We're even looking at ways to start doing voice updates out of the app, so that if we're getting some bully and we're hearing from someone, we can actually record a bit of an audio and punch that out, or even punch that out as part of a Punters Club update as well, of okay, here's why we're having a crack at this. So yeah, there's quite a bit to this update and upgrade, and we've taken all of the feedback that everybody put onto the post and into the Facebook group and sort of start there, have a look at what's possible, what's not possible, what creates a bit too much admin. So trying to just tick off what we can actually do, but hoping that in the next couple of months we will have something in front of people for them to be able to test, and just making your experience with BGP a little bit smoother. And I'm looking forward to seeing it get rolled out.
Mate, it's so good thinking about the community, thinking what or how information and how the community can stick together and look at things and have things more easily accessible. That's absolutely outstanding as always. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Dan Rack, mate, you're having a sort of quiet summer outside of work, so you're going to be ripping into a lot more content and giving people some more information.
Yeah, well, I'll be trying my best. So yeah, I've been fortunate enough to take on a little bit more responsibility at BGP, and I'm hoping to just start trying to do a few different things and just share some insights and different things that I can. I think one of the things that I'm quite keen to do is to do like a little bit of a recap of the weekend, which is one of the things I think maybe would be valuable. Like, we're going to have a whole lot of best bets from both the harness and the thoroughbreds over the weekend, and I think it'll be quite cool just to have a little bit of a chat about thoughts and feedback on how things gone, and there might even be some different things that maybe the guys notice over the weekend of runners that maybe run quite well that could be black bookers that we could look at and follow up in the future, as well as just maybe trying to do a few different things as well. We've got one leg,
Yeah.
a quarter of a horse, Captivant weanling.
Yeah, you're onto it.
And so,
Yep.
I'd like to think that maybe we can do a little bit with that as well. But I think some of the other things that I've noticed where people have been asking for some different types of content, like I think I'm just quite keen to just go bowl around different places and sort of get some more insights on what actually goes into horse racing. Like, what does the strapper do? Like, what do they actually do? Like, apart from just sort of fucking you throw the saddle on and sort of whack it on the butt and send it out. I don't know. They probably do a lot more than that. They're probably tidying up the hooves and doing it. Well, I've got no idea what goes into it, but it'd be quite cool to just go and sort of get an idea and go figure out what happens during the week or what happens on race night. I've got no idea. Like, with a lot of that stuff, I think this would be quite interesting information to sort of pass along. So I'm quite interested in going out and just sort of figuring that out.
Good on you, mate. Yeah, geez. Hopefully the horse racing fraternity accommodating of us.
Hope there's a few strappers out there that are keen to.
Did you say strap day?
Stress day, racing this weekend.
Yeah, it is racing this weekend. Bonus back.
But yes, we did take 25% in a horse so that we can document a little bit of the journey as it heads towards the sales in January. We did that a number of years ago and we syndicated some of that out. We're not going to do that this time just to keep the admin down, but we'll be doing a bit of storytelling of this is a weanling, and it goes to the sales and sales so that people can sort of see what actually goes on to get a horse ready for the sales, and then hopefully we can follow that horse's journey into racing as well. So Adrian Stanley's been very accommodating down there at Woburn Farms. We'll get down there at some stage as well. So Captivant out of Distinction. So we've nicknamed that one leg because we've got one leg in the horse, and hopefully it can run like it's got five. And someone bids and buys.
You should have put in the contract that it has to be called one leg when it sells or whatever happens to it.
Listen. Yeah.
It's a great name.
Yeah, be smart for a
Kimmy's
syndicator.
is planning on buying it.
Oh, right.
Be smart for a syndicator to buy it and then call it that and then get BGP racing it, wouldn't it?
Oh, put the colours on. Hello.
You're a forward thinker.
Oh, look, you're going to be out here trying, mate.
Got to get the Daniel Narclay, is he around? He's
Racing the Kiwi.
He's already got to mention
Episode 1, here we go.
Goodness gracious. No, good stuff, lads. That's outstanding. Dan, some of the stuff you've been pushing out has already been fantastic, mate. So looking forward to the rest of the stuff that you've got coming out. Good on you, mate. You rip into it. Right. All of that combined, lads, I want to know what you guys are looking forward to the most this season. Obviously, there's some fantastic things coming up for BGP. There's some fantastic things coming up for the Auckland Thoroughbred Racing Club, all of the clubs all around New Zealand. It's going to be a hell of a season. There's some fantastic horses that New Zealand's got going over to Australia, racing in New Zealand. Out of any of that mix, what's the one thing, Luke, that you're looking forward to the most, mate?
Yeah, I'm really interested to see. I'm a little bit of a geek. I'm interested to see how well we keep the momentum this season with racing, just with how tricky it is out there and how exciting it was last year. And do we build on that? Do we bring new people in? And I just felt like last season went so quickly, but I think with that season under the belt, with Entain sort of being here and stamping their mark of like, no, these are the things we want to focus on, that it might just have a bit more of a snowball this year as well. And yeah, I think we've just got to strap in and enjoy the ride because there's so much racing and there's going to be so much exciting stuff. And I think punters will have to be smart to keep their powder dry and make sure that they're betting smart and whatnot, because she's going to be a long season, but you're not going to want to be on the sidelines for some of those big days. You're going to want to be there. You at least want to going to want to have the big Saturday on, or listening to the content or tuning it in, or make sure you're streaming it when you're out on the golf course and just actually, keeping an eye, because I think we're going to see some very special performances this season.
Agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see if Move to Strike wins the 2000 Guineas. No, I'm kidding.
No, that's good.
No, I'm actually, probably the thing that I'm most looking forward to is Champions Day. We've never had a race day like that in New Zealand before. There's 4 Group 1s, $3.5 million NZB Kiwi. There's like $9 million worth of races on that day. It's it's just outstanding. I don't remember when we've seen a day where we've seen like sort of the 3-year-olds running over 1,200, 3-year-olds running over 2 mile, the 24 mile and a half. Then they're running over the 1,500. We've got there's all sorts happening on that day, and I'm just interested to see, are they able to reproduce the Karaka Millions but for a whole day? Because the environment Karaka Millions last year was electric. It was like, oh, shit, this is like mini Randwick vibes. I was like, oh, wow, here we go. Can they recreate that on Champions Day for the first year? It's going to be tough, but like there's so much money on the line. I'm really excited to see how that goes.
Do you think they will, Luke?
Yeah, I think we're a big chance to get some Australians over. Jockeys again, and I think a lot of them fell in love with Ellerslie for the Karaka Millions. I think with the stakes increasing, it makes more sense for them to jump on a plane. I think some of the horses will be coming over, and I think we'll see racing fans in Australia go, you know what, it's only a 3-hour flight. Like, that's not that far for them, because it can take that long to get halfway across their country. So they'll start to see more of it on their screen and go, shit, we need to go and get a taste of that. That looks like a hell of a day.
And Kiwis love a party too, eh? Kiwis make it good.
We love Jerome Rapati.
Jerome Rapati, that's right.
Well, if we can sell them the Karaka Million again and go, shit, look at this.
Yeah.
And then we can use that and go, well, guess what?
Yeah.
And in a couple of months' time, there's another one. Do you want to come?
Yeah.
That could be smart.
I agree with all of your thoughts there, lads. I really love it that, Luke, you're the big picture thinker, keeping the momentum going in the sport of racing. Dan's a real purist about the racing and hoping that looking forward to seeing the horses at the Kiwi.
Can I guess yours? You're looking forward to seeing Fat Boy Slim.
Hey, it's along that line. It's along that line. I'm looking for the party on Ellerslie, the Twilight night. The Twilight races are back at Ellerslie.
Yeah, they are.
That is what I'm talking about. Those are some of the best nights you could ever have in your life, eh? The Ellerslie Twilight party.
Are they on Fridays or Thursdays?
Thursdays, yeah.
Who cares?
So what, we're bowling out straight? We're going to have to do live podcasts from there then. Adam, is that all good?
Oh, God, no, mate. I just want to rip in, I'm going to go and have a good time.
Yeah,
we'll do some content, won't we? When I was 20, I loved those nights. I hadn't bet a thing. I just cruised around the Cuvée lawn and had a good time, It was great.
Looking at all the fillies, were you?
Yeah, some of them. That was good. It's bloody good times. I'm looking forward to that. Right, let's get into the horse racing, because we do have the entree for the spring Group 1 racing season, the FoxBridge Plate this week, which honestly, over winter, I'm sure so many people out there that are listening in, this is sort of the race that you really look forward to seeing, because you know that it's going to kick the season off. We've got the Group 1s coming down in Hastings over September and October, and this is where those good horses start coming out. And Jesus, they have come out. This is a very, very difficult field to dissect by the looks of things. It looks like even the TAB have found it pretty hard to work out what's going on. Dragon Leap, last year's winners, come out of the race. 2 years ago, Imperatriz went on to win 1 million Group 1s last year. So, this is a really, really good race to sort of get a handle on what's going to happen this season. And the Lance have been having a look at it. So, I don't know. Who wants to kick off? Luke, you're ready to go.
I reckon Dan's probably done the most form. We'll let him go, and then we'll wind him up and let him go. In 8 minutes, we'll chime in.
Yeah. Shit, this is a fucking tough race, eh? So originally when I first looked at it, I looked at Bonnie Lass, but then I thought, well, she's had 3 goes on a heavy track and never won. So I thought, okay, well, we'll get out of there. And then I thought, well, Master Fate goes all right as well. But I just thought 2 weeks ago, Ruakaka against Crocetti, I think he had a 8-kilo swing. So it was like 52 kilos to 60 kilos Crocetti, and maybe Crocetti's just an absolute freak, and that's why he didn't get beaten. But it just sort of put me off a little bit. Drawn 11 and maybe not. And then Mustang Valley, $3.50 top 3. It's had 11 starts on heavy tracks for 6 wins in 4 seconds. So it's only been out of the top 3 once on heavy tracks, which is redonkulous. But First Up's had 6 starts for 4 seconds. So it's only been out of the top 3 twice on first up. And so I thought the top 3 at $3.50 for Mustang Valley was really good value. The one that I thought I was going to have a bet on was White Hack at $8 to win. I just went back and had a look at its trial again. I think it was, who was it behind? Was it behind?
Not sure, mate.
Fuck. I can't remember, but it trialed. Oh, it was behind Legato. It was behind Legato. No, it was behind Legato because Legato trialed really impressively. Yeah. But Whitehack actually came from near last and just travelled on the bridle really nicely right through the line. And interestingly, he has had 2 starts for 1 win on the heavy. But first up, he's had 4 starts for a win and a third. And so in the distance, he's had 4 starts for 2 wins. But I remember there was that slight off track at Pukekohe where, was that the railway where he won?
Yeah, on Boxing Day.
Yeah, and that track was like quite off that day. There was like sort of almost like a fast lane up the middle of the track, but it was definitely not a good track. It was like an off track that day, and he seemed to get through the ground really nicely that day. And I feel like that was relatively fresh up for him. Like it wasn't, it wasn't deep into a campaign. So I'll take Whitehack. He's drawn 13. I know he's going to get back. I'm hoping that by the time they get to that race, all the jumpers and all the other horses have chewed up the inside, and he's going to get down the outside and bowl over the top of them at $8.
So your top pick is Whitehack?
Yeah, I know. I've been through a few there.
Yeah. I just know.
Top pick.
Genuine question.
Yeah.
Top pick Whitehack. I think Mustang Valley top 3, $3.50. I think is good value as well. I reckon that's overs.
But I do think the horny thing about this season too is that there's same race multis.
Oh yeah. You can do whatever you like.
I just priced up Whitehack to run top 4 and Mustang Valley, and I think you're getting around $7. Both of those top 4.
Oh, horny.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? So look, I mean, the one you've probably missed out there, I thought, Sacred Satono, trialled very good, goes very good first up, is basically 4 from 4 first up, and we know performs on a heavy track, is 4 from 4 at the track at Te Rapa as well. So barrier 10, going to be interesting to see where everything settles up. I think there'll be a pretty genuine tempo with some of these horses in here. And when I first looked at this, I was like, holy shit, how is Masterfay $10 when I first looked at it? But I don't know, it doesn't fill you with confidence that there's this chat around it wanting a good track, for instance. But, the horse you have touched on there that I think is just going to absolutely love this wet track and trialled fairly well from what I saw, and we know goes okay at Te Rapa and loves a heavy track, is Mustang Valley. And I almost made Mustang Valley top 4 my bet of the week. So that's what I'm going to be having a crack at in this race. Mustang Valley to run top 4, but I do think that Sacred Satono, the odds are most probably right, and the bookies are, keeping this one at guard as such, and $4 is probably a pretty fair price there in the market.
Ran second last year, Skew If, $9 and $8. That might just be because Dragon Leap has come out of the race, but no interest from either you fellas in Skew If with Opie on board.
Well, I think Karen Fenton Ellis said Skew If.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she knows what she's talking about. Yeah, should know. Yeah.
4 starts first up. It's, placed. I think that's about it from the 4. But, those will undo all the time. Drawn barrier 1 as well. It's going to be interesting to see, how heavy is this track. I just think if it's sloppy as, you might just see those Mustang Valley boys up in the stand absolutely giving it one and sneaking this. But, I think that's definitely at a great quote. You probably want to watch these first few races, see how much they're getting into this track as well, see how heavy it is, and see how much rain actually ends up coming.
I think that's the reason why it's at $8 because of the barrier, eh?
I think barrier 1, by the time you get to race 8, is that going to be the best place to be? I don't know. Opie knows what he's done.
Never been a fan favourite, and we've probably never bet on it when it's actually won, but Bonnie Lass is the favourite.
Yeah. Yeah, I've completely missed it, haven't I? Which is poor. Jesus. Rod Stewart's going to bloody have me.
Mate, it's a bloody good horse, and it's a really, really good sprinter. But I was kind of the same as you guys. I'm not sure why. I just didn't warm to it.
You can make a case for a lot of these, right?
Yeah,
and I do think that they seem fairly confident about this horse. I mean, it drifted out a little bit, 3.9 out to 4.4, back to 4 now. but grills to pay the bills. They know what they're doing, and the horse will be in the race for a long way. I'm just going to go with something a little bit rougher.
Nice. I struggled as well, but I thought that if the track is going to be heavy, which it really is, Mustang Valley could actually be a really good win bet at $12 still as well, and top four $2.60. When it's heavy, that horse has won Group 1s and beaten all of the best horses in New Zealand on a heavy track. So if it's genuinely heavy, it's supposed to potentially rain it around lunchtime on Saturday too. That just brings the horse into it even more. And if it does rain, it won't be paying $12. So it might be worth a crack. I do like Master Fay, but I didn't know about the heavy track chat. But I thought, even though Crocetti, who knows how good it's going to be, and it was a different weight, the way that those two horses at Ruakaka went at each other and their snouts pointing out, really, really wanting to win, I just thought, shit, not many horses actually really have the will to win like that. So I thought it was good value like that.
It's had that run under its belt, and it's the sort of horse that could win. And you go, how did that pay $8 on the day and win there? And I haven't got on. It's the only horse that sort of had a genuine race day tickle up as well. So yeah, I mean, it could sneak under the guard.
Yeah. And, before the odds came out, I thought Sacred Satono, but, $3.90 I see its favourite now. But, I don't know. Anything could win that race. Is there anything at long odds that you guys are looking forward to seeing in terms of those Group 1s coming up? Like Sharp and Smart's at 35 Puntura, who had a really good season last year, is at $34. Melly Stone ran some places in Group 1s, $27.
Yeah, I thought, Sharp and Smart's the sort of horse that you just give up on the horse, and then on Saturday, you could just end up being like, oh, of course.
Yeah, why?
Of course. First up as well, pretty good record, doesn't mind a heavy track, likes Tarapa, and Kelly Myers is riding in hard form. Good to have her flying back in the saddle. And you just go like, how have I missed that paying $7 a place?
And it trialled all right as well.
But you can't, it's so hard. There's so many chances.
At the start of last season, we were talking about Sharp and Smart as one of the best horses in New Zealand, if not the best horse in New Zealand. It didn't have a very good season, but it came off the back of a 3-year-old season where it raced in bloody every single race there was to go. Roger was looking at sending it to Hong Kong and all sorts. It was just all on. Maybe it's had a little bit of a quieter winter and it didn't race so much last summer, and who knows?
That happens, going from the 3-year-olds and stepping up to the 4-year-olds can sometimes be quite a difficult transition, and then you see some of these horses come back at 5 and they've just sort of grown up a little bit more, their bones got a little bit stronger and they just start to really deliver. So that could be one of these ones. But yeah, I think if I look forward to the future, I'm not sure if there's anything in here that I go, oh, this is going to win like a Cox Plate or something like that.
No, I agree. Because Pride of Jenny's going to win the Cox Plate.
Hey, there's your first futures tip, ladies and gentlemen.
Look,
Pride of Jenny.
Dan's going Waitak, Luke's going Mustang Valley. I'm going a combo of Mustang Valley and Master Fay. Good luck out there if you guys are having a crack. We are going to get to your comments very quickly or very shortly. Let us know who is going to win a Group 1 this season. Want to hear from the lads first. Futures, spring bets, and who's going to win a Group 1 this season.
All right, well, Snazzy Tavi, of course, probably win every Group 1. And horse for the Black Book, horse called Chiavari, Chiavari.
Is that Marsh?
No, one of the Coles.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take an eye on that and chuck it into the Black Book. Not sure where it is at the moment, but Chiavari, one to follow for sure.
Okay. Well, I'll throw one out there to win the Cox Plate, broadsiding. Really good 2-year-old last year, and it really came onto the scene and just started fucking toweling him up left, right, and centre. This is a good horse, and I'm really interested to see how this goes as a 3-year-old. I seen Jamie Carr the other day putting a hand up and saying, I would love to ride this horse in the Cox Plate, because of course it's going to be at 49.5 kilos or something, and J-Mac cannot get down to that weight. Yeah, so Jamie Carr might be stepping up and saying, hello, I'll have a bit of that. So $12 for the Cox Plate. Of course, Pride of Jenny's going to be really... it's going to be some Via Sustain. There's some really good horses in there. But I just think the $12 is overs, and I think that we can take a little bit of that. The other one that I think is going to win a Group 1 this season, this is a little bit left field, Nefetti.
Oh, Nefetti.
Yeah.
Nice.
I seen that trial the other day, and it looked big, powerful, and strong. And I don't know when it's going to win a Group 1, but I reckon it's going to win a Group 1 this season.
I like it. Do they have that option where you can pick a horse to win a Group 1?
Nah, fuck, I was looking for it. I was hoping that TAB were going to put it out again. Nefetti would sure be 100-1. Guys, if you're listening, TAB, put us up a market. Nefetti 100-1 to win a Group 1 this season.
they've got Pride of Jenny to win a Group 1 at $1.90.
Yeah, $1.95, I think. $4 for 2 or more.
It's average odds, eh? I had Snazzy Taffy in the Liverpool as
So
well.
you tell her what you really think, mate.
I thought Pearl of Alsace is going to win a Group 1 this year, isn't it?
Nice.
You reckon?
Stick with.
Yeah. I thought it was going to win the New Zealand Thoroughbred Breeders last year, but no good. I thought Mark Twain was going to win the Melbourne Cup. That's disappointing.
Oh, yeah, that hurts. Futures don't do it to us.
Is I Wish I Win going to win a Group 1, the Everest?
That's
Is that
not
a Group 1?
Nah.
Yeah, move on.
I did see you had some of the orchestra. I backed
it
that to
your
win the
nose?
Caulfield Cup.
What's going to happen? Did you?
Yeah, out of that, not going, but got a refund, which is quite good.
What's going to happen with Orchestral this season? We talked about Sharp and Smart, these 3-year-olds that go to 4-year-olds. Orchestral had a full-on season last year.
Yeah, well, they've said that she's going to have a really light preparation this spring, so they're going to really take it easy. So she's only going to have a few runs. She trialled the other day, and she trialled okay. But yeah, I reckon she'll only have 1 or 2 starts in the spring, and then I think they'll be aiming for some big targets in the autumn. So I think they'll really take it lightly in the spring.
Yeah.
Roger James, very good trainer. They'll have it figured out.
Mate, he's just a genius.
Yeah, and always has good glasses. I want to get a pair.
He looks so smart. You know, when you see him when Orchestral won the Derby, it wasn't even. It was an amazing race, but yeah, he just cruises along. He's so cruising. And then he cried, really emotionally.
Loves the restaurant Amano, he told me, but not Volare. Well, he might like Volare, but not. Yeah, just to throw in the Amano. versus
Stop
Volare.
bringing up Daniel Nussey. Like, I'm sure Amano's a great restaurant.
Hey, horse we forgot to mention, Damask Rose.
Oh yeah.
Gee whiz. You run out of bloody Christmas wrapping paper, the number of wraps this horse has got, they reckon better than Probabole.
Oh,
What?
Didn't it just
What's
run fourth
happened?
on the
should
weekend?
not even say that.
It ran third in the Kanaka Millions, didn't it?
Didn't it just run at Caulfield last weekend, Damask Rose?
I think that's Bellatrix Star.
Oh, Bellatrix Star, was it? Oh, okay. All right.
yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say, shit, that went under my guard.
Yeah,
So
okay.
where's
yeah.
this come from?
Just, a few DMs and...
But what's it done to create this hype?
I think just the hype leading into the Karaka Millions.
Look
yeah,
good in
I
the
think
stable.
this is what Clado was telling me on the radio last Saturday. There was chat, better than Probably. I'm like, jeepers creepers. But anyway, I think it might be $6 to win 1,000 guineas.
Ooh. Okay. I've heard
We'll be there.
I've heard a bit of a chat about something else winning 1,000 guineas.
Oh, okay.
Shit, we're gonna have too many futures bets, aren't we? Right, let's get to the community and see what everybody's thinking. Geez, we'll give it.
I'm gonna get broke by the time we get to week 3.
I know, right? Who's gonna win a Group 1, Adam?
So there's a few in here. If I go from the top, we've got geriatrics they're in on after how well it's doing in Queensland. I've got Crickety wins the Tarzino, surely from Caleb. Seems ambitious. Jolly Star.
Oh, yeah.
Is here from Tony.
1,000 guineas.
As I keep going down, oh, this hurts for Tyron. He's just got boned on a full league multi. That hurts, mate.
A bone.
Yep, very specific.
We've got a boner for a full league multi.
Goodness.
We've got Matt here with Riff Rocket.
Is that Matt? Hill?
Riff Rocket.
Yeah. Is that Matt Hill from Melbourne again?
It is Matt Hill.
This guy.
And we have Hamish for Campionessa to win the Liver Mole.
Shit.
Oh, nice.
He reckons read it here first.
Ooh.
Oh.
I actually have a horny futures bet, a shock. Finishing off with Campionessa, I've gone Waitack to place in the Foxbridge with Farrelleone in the Tarzino to place, loose. Snazzy Tavi over the mile at Arrowfield into Campionessa, all to place. I think I got 100 on here to win 15,000. That's a Dan Rack sort of multi. Except I'll only get one league. You'll get down to the last league.
It'll be
Dragon
better by
League will dog me.
nose. It'll be better by nose. That's a good multi.
It's pretty horny, isn't
Is
it?
Campionessa going to the Auckland Cup this year, or what's happening?
Needs to, can win anything. Melbourne Cup, any cup, Mornington Cup, Harwood Cup.
Yeah.
I
Win
actually
them all?
thought, Farrelleone for that Tarzino, naughty, $6 a place. Ugh.
Have you won a multi
Oh,
this
but
winter yet, Dan? Because we just get an
Don't
update.
fucking start. I won one. No,
Yes, 6,000.
no, it was 3,500,
Oh.
I think.
Oh, we're turning it down as the missus watching.
Yeah, guys, it was $1,500. Oh, yeah, go. No, I've only won that one multi. I've been beaten up on the rest of them, but I've got a few riding. I'm looking forward to the 2,000 guineas. Let me fucking tell you that. Livermore as well.
Who
Already looking forward to the Liverpool. The race where it always drops out and you're like, oh, there's 3 good horses in this field.
But that's why the Livermore futures betting could be quite good, and Snazzy Tabby at $21 could be a great bet, because none of those horses that race on Saturday will be there. They all fall over.
But didn't you say that Snazzy might be not going to be going there?
Yeah, well, that's sort of the chat that's been going on. That's not a main aim. It's like they're looking at some of the 2,000 metre weight for age races over the Christmas New Year's break.
Listen,
Look, they could fucking change their mind. I seen Snazzy Tabby trial the other day. I'd be putting it straight in the fucking Livermore. Let me win. Come on, give me a chance.
do we have to train the horse as well as tip at every start?
The worst thing is I got it at fucking 18s. It's now 21s because it's not going there.
Where's Bella Waters?
Oh, good question. Bloody. Oh, I think I've broken it.
I didn't see Bella Waters in any of the futures. Sean, it was short, wasn't it?
All of a sudden, I am fired up.
I hope everybody's enjoying the show. It is great to have you with us. Thank you very much for your contributions, everybody. As always, keep getting in the comments. We're going to get to the best bets for this weekend, and goodness me, are we stepping it up this year. We're expanding the harness racing best bets. We're bringing back the regular Gallop's best bets, which hopefully won you plenty of money last year. We've got an increasing blessed bet as well. So let's get started with the blessed bet for this weekend.
Yeah, Dan will read out the blessed bet and then the second blessed bet, which we'll get to too. But just quickly, they are now going to be capped at $100. Now, I know some of you will be like, oh, what the hell? But what we've agreed with the tab is that they'll give us an even bigger price, but the maximum bet is $100. If we get enough blowback saying, nah, that's bullshit, I want to be able to get more on, then, hey, we can revisit it. But we're going to get a better price, back it up to $100, and that, I think, gives us a bit more juice. And we know from last year that most people backing the blessed bet weren't spending more than $100 anyway. So I'm sure some bigger punters will be a little bit gutted, but I think it gives a lot of people a chance to really cash in on a bit of juice.
Yeah, so why don't I do the new blessed bet, and then one of you guys tackle the other one. So I'll start. We've got the new one, which is called the Harness Halo. It's Addington, Friday night, race 10. And Gasso's given us this one, and Gasso has been on fire in the group recently. Addington race 10, number 4, Ocean Breeze to run top 4, boosted from $2.35 out to $3. Gets a far better draw tonight, has used gate speed from a similar draw in the past, been a bit unlucky in recent couple and a tough runs. It needs to get across to the markers, and it's a big show, but he's tipped it out to each way, but we've gone top 4, boosted out to $3. The Harness Halo, Addington race 10.
Bloody beautiful. So to find these bets, you need to go to racing, then you need to go to futures, and you will find the Harness Halo and the blessed bet at the top of those futures. Now, the Harness Halo goes tomorrow night, and then the blessed bet will be going to Tirapa. Now, the GOAT is going to get the cheese out. Meeting 2, race number 6. This one is sexy. He's looking to turn me on because we're getting $8, I believe. Is that right? Or have I overcooked that? $8
No, you're right.
for Turn Me On, the blessed bet in week number 1. Has always looked like a stayer of promise. Key point is the booking of Opie. There is only one Opie boss and has been a good mate of Sean Ritchie for a long time, but has only ridden approximately 23 times for him and won 7 of those, which suggests they are normally ready to go when OP is up. Distance will suit, track conditions are okay, and it will be rock hard fit. All that is turning me on, and that's exactly what it will be doing come meeting to race number 6 when you get $8.
Oh, I've missed that, Luke. That was so good.
Let's hope he turns on a few of the punters. Here we go.
Yeah. Good work from you too, Dan. That was a bit of a mouthful. That was good work. Righto, let's get to the rest of the harness racing best bets. Dan, do you want to start off with the Scanman, mate?
Yeah, go on then. Scanman, Addington, meeting 8, race 7, McAndrew, Aviator. After having a few issues in the New Zealand Cup last year, he has produced a couple of very nice trials heading into this. Also, generally very quick away from the stand start and looks set for a big run in a fresh state. McAndrew Aviator, nice horse. You're getting value here as well. I think it's $9 and $3.50 or something, top 3. The Scanman, Addington, meeting 8, race 7, McAndrew Aviator.
All right, well then we are going to Addington, meeting 8, race number 6. Now, Matty Markham is having a crack here, and he has tipped out Mr. Love. Now, this is a horse that you can only but fall in love with as it goes round. I can't make up anything for this. How do we not get it right up for
Something
Mr.
about
Love?
Turn Me On and Mr. Love. You
Yeah,
know?
well, maybe. No, I was getting too carried away with what are we going to call it if both the Bless Bet and the Harness Halo come in? Is it going to be called Come to Jesus? Are we going to call it Sunday Church? But anyway, Mr. Love for Matty Markham, Addington, meeting 8, race number 6.
Really good trotter. It's in the lead up to the Dominion, which is one of them. But there's a couple of good trotters in that race. But this Mr. Love's been going real good races. Benny Hope up. I think it's a good chance.
And he said that when Ben Hope wins, he will salute by blowing you a kiss for the punters.
Rackman, why don't you go Fitzy as well, mate? You're on fire with the harness.
Here we go. Addington meeting 8, race 2, Brando. Now, this thing's gone from Tiako straight to the fucking trots, and here we go. Draws well, barrier 1, trialled sensational last week in a quick time. A horse on the rise will no doubt benefit from the run, but still should be tough to roll. Brando got the inside barrier. Here we go.
Righto, good work from the harness lads. Let's rip into some of the gallops. My best bet this
What
week.
about Gasser?
Well, we've got him, haven't we, in the Blessed Bet? But
No, that's a different one.
good man.
Okay, so Gasso, he's got the real fucking petrol as well. Addington, race number 8. So meeting 8, race number 8. The horse is called Ziendi, I believe, Xiendi. Big future, this horse. Was excellent in a recent trial, sub 56 last half. Goes well, fresh. Second line draw, but only horse there, so Bob will have options. Devastating sprint on him. Runs faster than Noah Lyles and will get the gold medal.
Oh, it's so good. It is so good.
Zlandia, I think it is.
Slendy.
Zlandia.
Slendy.
Slendy.
Jeez.
Isn't that one from Ukraine or something?
I don't know.
Gasso's been on fire this winter as well.
He
hasn't
has.
He has.
Absolutely.
has.
It is fantastic to have Gasso and Matty Markham back on adding to the panel this year with Fitzy, Scamman, and the Rackman is going to bring some harness tips as well throughout the season.
The idea being that you fill up on your Friday and you've got plenty of gas, so to speak, for Saturday.
How good.
Right.
Great idea. Right, should we get to the gallops? I reckon we start with our 3, then we'll go into the big guns to finish off. How about that?
Beautiful.
Sounds good to me.
Righto. My best bet this weekend is going to be at Te Rapa race 10. It's the I Win, the Everest, rating 65. La Mesquita. This horse took my eye last season, and I quite liked it. I heard Marshy on SENZ the other morning as well, saying that he's quietly confident about this. Its 2 starts on winter tracks have been really, really good, finishing off second. It's had a bit of a freshen up. Opie Boston jumps on board. If it finishes anything like it has in the last 2 races, it should get the job done. Sadly, Ted has got a value winner in this race as well, which we'll get to soon. But, anyway, La Mesquita, race 10, Te Rapa. Dan?
Yeah, right. After being bullied left, right, and centre from the boys in the group chat, I've rested my laurels. Moonee Valley, meeting 12, race 8, Sans Doute, or Sans Doute, or whatever you want to call it, because this thing's going to be fucking blowing down the outside and peeling off a win. $6 or $5 and $2.50 or something like that. Look, this thing is a straight track specialist, so I'm thinking maybe the champion spread, or it's going to win a Group 1, I reckon, in Australia down the straight at Flemington. But I just get the feeling like this horse has got a really devastating sprint on it, and it reminds me, remember Imperatriz fresh up at the Valley last year? Was it in the Manikato Stakes or something like that? And it just like come around the outside, a giga kick, and just give it windburn.
That was
I reckon
freakish.
Sans Dute's got that sort of same sort of devastating sprint. I'm just hoping that he knows how to change the lead leg on that final corner, blows past him and puts him in a body bag.
Some great technicalities there, Luke.
Bloody excited. Well, I'm going to go to Te Rapa, race number 2, horse called Suit Yourself, and I certainly bloody will, because for $4.20, that will do me just fine, especially in a bonus back race. Now, this horse was a little bit disappointing for punters on debut. It had 2 trials. It went around at about $2.20, but was beaten by a very good ride from Jasmine Fawcett. Now, I think we want to give this horse another chance. It stays left-handed. We're getting $4, and it is a bonus back race. So Suit Yourself, get paid very early on in the day, and then just keep building the bank.
Absolutely, mate. You can put all that money on Ted's best bet, Te Rapa race 6, Diamond Jack, $2.70. He's made this his best bet the last couple of times it's been out too. I think it's won one of those 2 races. Certainly beat in their last start over 2,200 metres when going down to Hula Beat by a head. had beaten Hula Beat the start prior by 3.5 lengths. With better luck in the running, Diamond Jack can turn the tables on Saturday. Put all your Friday night winnings and Luke's best bet into Diamond Jack, race 6, paying $2.70 at the moment. Will pay less because Ted has said so. We've already had the Goat's best bet, which has turned me on. So somebody's going to wrap up with Matty Punt IQ. Thank you very much, as always, mate.
You can find a winner over there in Australia, and he's had the maps out, the data out, and he's found us one. Mooney, or Money Valley, as we like to call it. Meeting 12, race number 6, Regal Zeus, $4.60. Rail out 5 metres, could be quite leaderish, and he's in good form with the map advantage on the favourite. Get stuck in and get paid at Money Valley.
Good luck if you're having a crack at those. Good luck if you kept up. Gee whiz, how many best bets have we got each week?
We got a lot there. But this year as well, we're actually going to track the performance of all of the punters as well, and we'll make that data readily available at bgp.com/best bets.
Look, your trajectory at the end of last season took off. The goat was pretty high. Everybody had pretty good seasons.
Yeah, well, if you want the ROI data, just DM Kimmy's and he'll sort it out. Yeah.
Leave me out of it.
I haven't got much to do. Yeah,
leave me out of it. Oh, hopefully everybody wins off those. Hey, have you guys realised that our beers are invisible?
They should be. They're exports.
The way that he was deleting them. Hey, quickly as well, we lost Black Caviar, unfortunately, last weekend on Saturday, which is a real shame, real icon of the sport. I was lucky enough to get over there and watch her win a race, and even I couldn't jinx her and stop her. That's how fucking good she was. I went and put a bet on, and she still won. And I had a little flag, and I had my pants off. I'm not even joking.
What do you mean you had your pants off?
I did, mate. I was so excited. I don't know. We just always take our pants off when we got excited many years ago, and she was that good.
Don't do that at the Twilight races.
No, we won't do that anymore. Definitely growing out of that. So yeah, it was just. Pants became optional normally after some big event had happened, and when she won, I'm like, oh, this just calls for it. So anyway, you outgrow those sorts of bad behaviours, but did have my Black Caviar flag, and I think I might have lost that. But she was a hell of a horse, and one of those horses that is a once in a lifetime, and then we got another good one after that as well. But hopefully there's heaps of good memories that people have of that horse, and hopefully we can start to see some more of those coming through as well.
And I guess, lastly, a quick shout-out to the ACC for helping us out, get the podcast cranking, and, of course, the TAB as well for supporting us and allowing us to do what we want to do. It's awesome. We're really excited to be back this season, and I'm really ready to rip into it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mate, Adam, it's good to have you back, mate. You're at Sean Johnson Stadium tomorrow night, aren't you, for the last home game for the Wars?
Yeah, I thought it was Jazz Tavanga Stadium tomorrow.
Yes, there we go. Jazzy boy.
He feels a bit hard done by these. It's not just one day, but yeah, I will be there tomorrow, and I'm sure it will be electric tomorrow.
Absolutely. Hopefully the Wars can send everybody off on a good note for a home season. It's been one of those up and down tough seasons off the back of a very good season, but we will be back, I would have thought.
We certainly will, and I know that my mum's at the game, so go easy on her tomorrow night, Adam, if you bump into her, but she'll be screaming at someone. Loves a Sean Johnson try as well, so hopefully she's back in that.
Fantastic. Righto.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, awesome.
Hey, look,
great stuff.
Oh, mate, sorry, I was just thinking about the next thing to say. But
let's wrap it up.
I just want to make sure that everybody knows we aren't back next week, but we will be back in 2 weeks' time for the Tarzino Trophy. And, of course, Luke, you won't be with us.
No, I'll be over in America, actually. I have to go to Miami for a couple of things, sort the BGP app and all business,
admin.
all tax deductible, etc. But I'll try and beam in and make a bit of content and fire it over.
Good work.
Oh, good.
Good man. Dan, what do you got on the next couple of weeks, mate?
Oh, not much, mate. I just want to go to the
You just wanna
bathroom.
go to the bathroom. Right, it's been absolutely outstanding. I've loved sitting here talking shit about horse racing with you fellas again. Thank you so much, Adam. Thank you very much to everybody who has tuned in. We can't wait to spend another racing season with you. Thanks very much, as always. This weekend, gamble responsibly, but enjoy yourselves.
Game, set, and match. I'll shut the gate. They're going to do it again. The Kanaka Million goes with and stays with. Up in front, Delzeo, long run, but here's the cause now. He's coming. He's going to get.